Street Podcast Lounge Room Edition. We are here in Stu's Lounge Room.
Jesus Christ.
How's your day off going, man?
Fuck, I got invaded. I'm watching telly and these fucking pricks.
Were you
what were you watching?
Access Hollywood?
What were you watching?
Yeah, it was like round tables.
Why?
They're good.
Access Hollywood.
No, it's like a Hollywood Reporter.
Mate, LA, a lot happens in a week, Davey.
But why do you care what happens in Hollywood?
No, it's not. No, they get asked questions about like their acting jobs and shit. But they have musos on there and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's good. They ask them. It's just like a discussion. It's like a podcast. So go fuck yourself. I watch what I want to watch.
He was doing homework.
I'm at home on my day off. I'm allowed to watch what I want to watch.
No, describe... justify your actions, Stu.
Fucking hell.
Now, for those who have been listening along, they would have noticed we had a little period when Davey was away.
Yeah.
You'll be hearing his voice again going, who's this?
Yeah.
Who's this little guy? Davey, where have you been? What have you been doing?
I've been all over the place. I've been in Europe, which is just kind of like a collecting fucking term.
And is that in the Americas?
Yes. So you go North
Australasia,
America,
right?
South America, and then below that is very South America, all Europe.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. How was it?
Yeah, it's cool. Fucking loved it. Lots of
How many
places.
times did you break up with your girlfriend?
Oh, we had like 2 big fights. I thought we were gonna like you know there's that like story where there's this couple that sailed around the world together and then the wife just like mysteriously disappeared when the guy went to
She
fall
just
one
like
time.
isn't there one
Yeah,
morning and
exactly.
you never see her again.
It's never spoken
No,
about.
like legitimately, there's like a dude that came into port and he's like, oh, she fell overboard. And they're like, you're under arrest. I thought it was gonna be like that, but no, we fought in like maybe twice the entire time, which is good news.
That's good for you two.
Yeah, that's
You
good
guys are
because
fucking-
normally our relationship is built on mutual hate, which is it's really healthy. It's awesome.
So walk us through. Go countries. What countries did you go through?
Okay, here's a list. I started in Croatia, then to France, went to Paris, went to the UK, London, then went to Scotland, then I went to Berlin, then I went to Amsterdam, and then up to Norway, and then Reykjavik in Iceland, and then I flew back, which
So sick.
was a fucking cool trip.
I've been
Lots of
doing
weird
like
people.
a few of those places, 1 or 2, 3, maybe.
Yeah. So I feel like every Australian does like their immigration thing where they just like go to Europe and they're like, I've been to Europe, and they like go to like 6 places out of this place of like
Oh, yeah.
60 countries, and they're like, I know what Europe's about. I've been all over that place.
Yeah, where did I go? I went to, I think like 7 or 8 different places. That was good. I did France, Germany, fucking Netherlands, Italy, Greece, Spain.
Is this the trip that you proposed to your current partner?
Yes.
Right.
Why do you say current partner?
You specifically told me not to talk about it. I don't know what the rules are, man.
You can say it, name.
No, it's like Voldemort now. Can't say the name.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, that
Right.
happened.
See, like your Europe trip is like I went away with my now fiance and proposed to her.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm pretty fucking happy I didn't break up with my girlfriend. We did it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Europe with a girlfriend, so I probably had more fun than both of you.
Yeah. Did you go to Europe with a man friend though?
Yep, who's just as stupid as I was.
Oh my god.
And
Did you get arrested?
and at the time equally as highly paid.
Oh no.
Oh, and that was stupid.
How long were you there for?
6 weeks?
How much
7
did you
weeks?
spend?
I think together, this was me and Riley, for those who don't know, Collis, back in the wind farm days. I think we spent about 30 grand.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I spent about, well, are you including flights and shit?
Nah, that's spending.
Spending money.
And
I reckon
let's
I
just
spent-
say, and we went to we only saw the inside of
6 or-
bars and
6 or
clubs.
7.
It was
Right.
pretty much exclusively on alcohol and drugs and minimal food to get by.
Jesus. I took 10 grand and I think I spent like 5. Because I just didn't... Like I thought I was like, I'm gonna like live that baller life. I'm gonna go fucking buy bottles and shit. Nah, turns out I just like beer and I'm pretty happy with pints. Like,
Yeah. And they're cheap.
Simple man of simple pleasures.
Cheapish. Some places they're cheap.
No, like
it's
places
not
where
really.
it's
It's pretty even, isn't it? Beer.
Yeah,
Except for like
the UK was
Greece is
pretty
pretty
expensive.
cheap. You didn't go to Greece.
No,
Isn't Greece everything's really cheap?
because
Their
they're
economy's
like
fucked in
yeah,
the toilet.
they're like slowly slipping back into a third world country.
I don't think there's anything slow about it, unfortunately. So let's get back on track here, Davey. What was the biggest party night? What? Surely every time you go overseas, especially for like a month or more, you're gonna get into a situation that, in hindsight, you probably should have avoided.
There was a few in Amsterdam.
Be high as
So
fuck.
there's a blue light district in Amsterdam. So there's the red light district, like the world famous red light district with all of the strippers and stuff.
Haven't heard of it.
Haven't heard of it? Okay, so you lived next to it when you were in Amsterdam. We have photo evidence of this.
We were right
Is
next
that what that was?
we were right next door to the section.
I just thought that they were really liberal with it.
I just thought our neighbours were just very nice.
They just like hanging out in windows. There's nothing on.
So
I did the same.
People were looking at me very weirdly.
we went to the red light district and we went on like apparently one of the busiest nights of the year. Like we're like peak like tourism season and all of like every British like stag party.
How many muffins had you had?
Yeah.
What? No, see,
How
I
many
went.
space cupcakes?
We went to like the coffee shops, which like they've got a weird code there. Like everyone knows about it. But it's like cafes are cafes, like they just serve coffee. But if it's called a coffee shop,
Yeah.
Bit more.
Yeah.
then they just sell weed.
Yeah.
And like, if you've got a code that like we're not a weed dispensary or whatever you want to call it, we're a coffee shop.
Mm-hmm.
But then you walk in and they literally have like TV screens that like are like with like scrolling prices of the different drugs
Yeah.
you can buy.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, why have the code if you're like this blatant about it? Because it's actually illegal in Amsterdam. Like this is like
No, it's decriminalised.
it's decriminalized, but it's not legal.
You're allowed to sell it in a shop.
No, you're not. Yeah, you're allowed to. They don't. It's a
You're allowed to-
tolerance
you're
law.
allowed
We had
to sell it in a shop.
We had a dude explain it to us. It's a tolerance law where they don't really care, but there is no legal way to get it.
You know
Like,
why? It'd be stupid for them to suddenly like say that this is illegal. They would lose so much fucking business to that place. Like
Yeah.
tourism is in
It's built on
Amsterdam
that.
is pretty strictly because of strippers and fucking
And weed.
drugs.
Yeah.
Like,
And especially like before weed became like decriminalized in a lot of places and legal through the states and shit, like it was worldwide touristy. If you were going to go to Amsterdam, it was like, well, you're going to go and get high as fuck.
Yeah, but it turns out that it's not actually legal because it's
no, it's not completely legal.
Yeah, but it's like you're not going to get. Like no one's
You
going to
won't
get
get
arrested
arrested,
over it,
no.
which I thought was like strange because like the whole thing is
If you have it, if you have enough in a public place though, that it doesn't look like it's just like to smoke a joint
Recreational
or whatever,
use.
then you can get arrested.
Yeah, so that's what this guy was explaining. He's like, if you're
You should
walking around with a
smoke in-
backpack full of weed, you will get arrested.
You
But
should
if you're
smoke
like,
it in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
yeah, or like no, but even in the park, they don't care if you smoke in the park.
Yeah.
They're just like, as long as you're not like
We ate our
annoying
cakes.
people.
That was
We
fun.
had
we ate
bagels.
cakes in the
Not weed.
bagels.
Not weed
Oh.
bagel, just not like normal bagel.
Cool story. I ate a sandwich once.
No, I had many sandwiches. The bagels were better. That was what we looked forward to.
Bagels are better in Amsterdam.
Fuck, I rate it. I
Their
tell you
food's
what.
actually really good in Amsterdam. Like,
Yeah, man, the chip fucking cones.
Oh, you told
they're
me about
the
that.
Best.
Yeah, they got-
Actually, they weren't that good. The sauces were really good, but the chips themselves, I feel like Europeans do not know how to cook hot chips. They never seem to get it right.
Interesting.
Like
what about the
especially
English?
Greece.
What about England? England's a
I
home
haven't
of
been
fish
there.
and chips.
I haven't been there.
And
right.
up until December or October 31st or whenever it is, they're still part of Europe,
yeah,
Yeah.
technically.
technically, that's what
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
food that is. It seems very popular there. Everyone I
Yeah,
spoke
actually,
to
what
was
is the
very
feel?
happy
Is
about
there
that.
is that is
No,
there a feel
everyone I
around
spoke
that?
to was like, we have no fucking idea what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
like
No,
the-
they don't, because it's
That's
just
the same
some
with anyone.
weird...
Like, no, they understand, like, what's happening. They just do not know how they got to this point. They're just like, we
Yeah,
don't
it was
know
just
what-
a strange government
Yeah.
choice. It was like a reactionary choice. I
Even,
think.
like, in Scotland's, like, now, because Scotland, fun fact, is actually part of the United Kingdom. Didn't know that. I think that's probably general
Really?
knowledge that I just didn't know.
Really?
I thought it was a different country. It's not. It's the same country, but they have their own
It's
parliament.
the UK.
Yeah, United Kingdom.
Yeah,
They're
so
a
it's
different kingdom.
England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales.
Yeah, so didn't know that they all have their own parliaments.
Yeah. They're different countries.
Yeah, but they're not though. It's weird. They've got this weird
It's
connection.
like the United Kingdom is a group of countries. They are different countries.
Yeah, but like there was like I don't know. they're basically treated.
They're a
as
united kingdom.
Yeah.
If you will.
So they're basically treated as
And
if they're
unite.
one country, which like really fucked us around because we didn't know like, can we cross the border here? Is like the only problem. They're like, that's fine. I'm like, are the prices different? They're like, no. And they're like, but they have the Scottish pound.
But even
and
crossing the
British
border
pound.
in certain parts of Europe is like you don't have to check
You
passports and
scooch
shit.
through, yeah.
But that's like the European Union. But I think I wrapped my head around that a little bit better than the United Kingdom,
Right.
So then when we went to Scotland, they're now talking about if England leaves, they're going to secede like from the United Kingdom and be their own country.
Yeah.
So they
And
can
go
stay
back
in the
in
Europe.
Europe, yeah.
Which is like just the amount of
Yeah.
fucked that it is. And everyone our
Bizarre.
age is kind of like just like
Yeah, it's
what the
an
fuck is
odd
happening.
situation.
It's very...
But they've got a really
especially
good-
because, I mean, we're not even going to get into it. But it's,
I don't particularly care too much.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. At
It
the
is
same
interesting.
Time. I think it was like a knee-jerk reaction on England's bar
But-
or the UK's bar.
Best place to party in the UK. London's fucking great. They've got a really good. They've got like a microbrewery thing, just like
They
kicking
just froth
there
it.
with like tons
They
of
froth
crafts.
it. Like that.
oh, nice.
Tons of crafts starting up because there's all these like mechanical and industrial areas that are now just abandoned, and all like the hipsters have just been like
Bought it up. Yeah, yeah.
and like bought it up. So we
What is the word for that?
gentrification.
Gentrification.
We went to Hackney Wick, which is like.
What a shit name.
Sorry?
So there's a place called Hackney, and we were staying in there. And then you go a little bit further out than Hackney, it's called Hackney Wick.
Is that where they make candles?
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
I'm on my day off.
So we went there, and it was like next to canals and stuff, and they've got like barges where it's like a big ass boat that just floats on the canals, and it's like got a bar in it and stuff. And then all of these like old warehouses and stuff.
There's too many opportunities for puns. Like in this whole podcast. Anyway, go on.
Anytime
Barge. It's my day off.
We'll give it to him. We'll give it to him.
barge. But yeah,
That was funny, Stu.
so
Day off.
all of these like industrial areas have now been turned into like breweries and bars and stuff like that, and now there's like this like underground DJ thing going on where like these breweries will open their like factory floor and set up a stage and shit, and they'll have DJs in and they just like sling their beer to like whoever comes. We went to this like area. It's like a big ass square because that's how they do it in the UK. They just got like it's not an industrial district. It's like a big square.
They used to do it in Melbourne a lot in like the 90s.
Yeah,
Just
so
warehouse
that
parties.
is now happening
Right.
now in the UK.
I think they
It's still
did
happening.
it.
It's coming
I think
back.
they did it.
Remember that we went
Yeah, I think I'm not saying that we invented
Yeah,
it.
no.
we went to that opening of that one in Heidelberg. It's pretty much like that. Just a big brew house in a fucking industrial area.
Yeah.
It's just a monster bar.
But we got there and there was like, they were like, oh yeah, come in here. Like they got security. They're like, come in here. It's gonna be great. Like you guys are Australian. We've got a bunch of Australian DJs. They're all from fucking Melbourne. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I flew halfway across the fucking
Yeah,
world.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to see.
You don't go to the Melbourne DJs in Melbourne.
I don't want to see
Guys, this is
fucking
great.
Melbourne DJs, man.
I could not go to this club in Melbourne.
Um,
Actually, even on that, sorry to side note, this just perked up when you mentioned warehouse parties and shit. Those dudes, 1-4, Hooligan Hef and shit, and
Yeah.
6-6 Records, a lot of their shows have been shut down.
Yeah, I've
Me and
been
Mama
seeing
were
that.
talking about, imagine those dudes start throwing underground warehouse shows like concert. That shit would blow
Yeah,
up. Because
yeah.
cops have shut down all the legit shows. People want to see them. They throw some into
Yeah.
some fucking warehouse parties.
Yep.
Shit would be big.
my mates back in the day tried to
If
start.
anyone here's affiliated there or they want to start something like that, send us an email. We'll see if we can get something started.
I
Underground
got
ware-
friends. I
and
got friends.
Underground warehouse raves. We know guys.
Yeah, I know.
I know
guy.
people that know people.
My mate back in the day tried to start stuff with a bunch of his like college friends that about where they would go to parks and they would just set up a generator and some big
Yeah.
speakers and they would just throw a party until the cops told them to fuck off and then
Yeah.
they just would.
Go to another park.
Yeah, so and that went for a little while, but like they were inviting like like there was like I don't know probably like 2013 where there was like that really big rise in super underground like how like cool you were was
Yeah,
directly
yeah,
related
yeah.
to how hard it was.
I
to
mean,
find
I
your
never was in that world, but I was aware.
shit. He was
of
very deep in this world, and no one fucking came because no one fucking knew who was playing because it was so underground that like you had to be like
Nah,
several
I think,
hits to the beach.
no, I have a theory.
Yeah.
They sucked at it.
Yeah.
They weren't good at throwing
No,
parties.
people came, like, I think the biggest they got was like 200, but it was just fucking weird.
Yeah.
It didn't work out the way they were supposed to.
I was uncool before it was cool to be uncool.
Yeah, it was kind of like that feeling where everyone was trying to out hipster each other. Like a dude came wearing a garbage
This is
bag.
ironically bad.
Yeah.
Like a dude literally came dressed in clothes made out of garbage bag material, and some people that remain nameless decided to just pull on it because they were like we're all drunk and we were like.
And he was naked all
We were
the
like,
time.
we were like, are you wearing a garbage bag? And just tore it, and he was just naked. It was like cold at night, and he's like, why'd you do that? We're like, why are you wearing a garbage bag?
Yeah, exactly.
What the
The
fuck?
onus is not on me here.
Oh, that's gold.
But Glasgow, by far the best place to party. They've got really, really good bar scene because they're a student town now. And everyone's really nice. Everyone was like, ooh, Glasgow, it's a hard fucking city. It's not. It's full of students.
Yeah.
Everyone's nice. Like, we didn't run into anyone that was particularly hard, except for in Croatia. Fuck me. There's some characters in Croatia.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's just I don't know, they're very... So they've been in economic recession for the past fucking forever. And the last 3 years or something is the first time they've had an uptick in their economy.
Right.
In fucking forever.
So they're all just spending money.
They're all spending money. But now their social kind of currency is how much money is your clothes worth and stuff like that.
Right.
How nice a car do you drive. So it's more expensive.
Sounds like I'd hate this place. Go
Oh
on.
yeah, you'd fucking hate it. You go to the islands, they're beautiful, but the cities apart from Zagreb, Split and the ones along the coast, all of the really touristy ones, just ugh. But Adidas and Nike and that sort of stuff there is 3 times what it costs to buy it here.
Mm.
So you get a pair of Nike track pants for $100 here. They're 250 Australian dollars in Croatia.
Stupid.
And everyone's
I
got
thought $100. When you said 100 here, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
stupid.
That's how much they cost from the
Yeah,
Nike store. It's $99, which is fucking crazy. It's 3 times that there. When everything else is
But yeah,
pocket change. It's just clothes.
I mean,
are
it's
so expensive.
stupid, but the market is if people pay for it, it will go.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't. I can't blame them for pricing it that way.
What are they going to do?
It just baffles me that
as
people
consumers,
wear that.
what can you do?
Yeah, no, exactly.
You just
Can't you
yeah,
buy
you
other
just choose
shit?
not to wear it.
I choose. Doesn't
But
matter.
then you're seen as uncool. But who gives a fuck, really?
Yeah.
But that was the thing because
When you're young, I guess
it's
you
not
care.
about what it looks like. It's about everyone knows how much it costs, so they see you wearing it and they're like, "Oh, you've got money."
There's things like that everywhere.
Yeah, that's absolutely a
Yeah.
thing. But it was crazy.
Yeah,
It was just
predominant.
that on speed, and we were walking around in
Flogs.
my
Right.
fucking jeans that cost $50.
Do you reckon there's something? Sorry to bolter in there. Do you reckon there's something about a culture on a whole having low self-esteem, I guess, to a point where it generates this sort of superficial satisfaction?
I think different societies govern how the population acts.
Yep, but
So
that
for sure. That's like Brits and Aussies have similar senses of humor, very self-deprecating. It's tear someone down before they get too big, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's probably a similar sort of thing in that sort of culture. If it's
But I mean,
it's all based around how good you look or how much money you spend or whatever like that.
Well,
do you reckon
yeah.
that's got to do with anything with that, culture's economic point in the worldwide standing? Do you reckon that has any play in it? If they're just coming out of a economic depression or something when money's not around, do you reckon they're more likely to gravitate towards fucking flashy shit? Just look, we're not
Absolutely.
fucking in the depression again, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Guys,
know.
can we join in?
Yeah. Hey, guys,
I got money now.
Yeah. Can we play too?
I got Nike.
Yeah.
I got it.
And then the circle is in 10, 20 years when they're already out of it. They're like, we don't care for this again.
We spent way too much money.
Yeah,
That's
we
so
should have
stupid.
spent that.
That's literally it.
I immediately regret that decision.
Why did I spend $300 on goddamn
fucking
my
track
track
pants?
pants?
So I'm really into combat jackets and combat boots. I really like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I went to the Croatian op shops.
Army man.
I know, Mr. Big Man, Mr. David Ruckman.
So if I'm not on a list for collecting military shit, I fucking should do. I could outfit a small army.
Is in small numbers wise or height?
Yeah, I always buy things that are just
small.
way too small for me.
Look, man, child soldiers are the best ones. So,
That's all this shop sells. I don't know why I keep going back.
but
Child.
They're the best ones. They're so easy to control. So we went to like Croatian op shops when we were there, and they do it by the kilo. Like you pay $6 Australian per kilo of clothes that you get, and because everyone's buying Nike and that really expensive
very
shit,
silly.
That seems awesome.
That sounds really weird.
all of the stuff that they throw out, which is still Nike and Adidas and all stuff because that's what everyone's wearing, goes to these fucking op shops. So I got all these fucking new clothes, plus like they just had a huge war like 20 years ago, and they had like a huge influx of military stuff, and all these soldiers didn't get paid that well, so they just on-sold their uniforms and shit. So I have like full Croatian military outfits and
sick.
Bosnians. I got both sides of that war. Like, depending on which area I'm in, I can just chuck on the next jacket.
Wear like the Bosnian pants with the Croatian jacket.
And yeah, so but like that's like not cool at all.
I know.
I wouldn't imagine.
But here
For
it
you
kind of
to buy
is.
it,
Yeah.
for you to buy it isn't cool.
Yeah, no, like having military stuff. Like, so you like now you see dudes walking around in camo jackets.
You're gonna have people knocking down your door, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So when I was buying like 3 camo
If
jackets.
anyone wants to know where he lives, look into our Insta stories right after this podcast. I'm broadcasting it.
So like I was buying like 3 camo jackets and a pair of combat boots and stuff like that, and the lady's like looking at me like,
But where from? Just an op shop?
Why are they selling them?
Yeah, that's it.
They have
What
a
do they
whole
expect?
rack.
So
Whole
what do they
rack.
expect
Why is she
people to
looking
do?
at you weird then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That shits me.
She was like,
Maybe it
"What
was
the
because you were doing other weird shit in the shop.
fuck?" Yeah, well I was also
Stop jerking off around the store. They weren't looking at you because you were
No,
buying
because
the
you were
army.
buying the shit from the store. That they were fine with. It was the other weird
was the
shit.
fact-
You had your dick out.
the fact that I got completely
like, "What?"
naked before buying shit.
This is how I go shopping.
This is how I
How
shop.
am I meant to know if it fits or not?
And they sell shoes and stuff. It was great. So like yeah, got a bunch of like new Nike stuff, and they were like, "Oh, you must be poor because you came from the op shop." I'm like, "No, I'm not fucking retarded and paid $300 for a pair of track pants." Like
Yeah,
what
and
the
then
fuck?
one of them was like, "Oh yeah, shit, fuck, we are stupid." Like,
Because again, it's not about how it looks; it's about
Yeah.
showing that you've spent this.
but
amount
how
of
do they
money.
know how much you've?
But that's-
where you
Everyone
bought it?
knows
But
what
that's
it's worth.
But that's a whole thing of consumerism in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what big brands, Gucci and shit, were made
Yeah,
of. Like
Louis
what are
Vuitton.
diamonds? A diamond's just
Yeah.
a fucking shiny
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah. So nowadays, you see it like our generation at least, or at least our generation.
He's closer to me than you are.
Is
To
he?
him.
Excuse me, we're still
Oh, no,
low
no.
20s, so
Yeah, he's 21.
this year.
I'm 4.
You're 4 years old.
Yeah, 4 years old.
Yeah, right.
This is child labor.
You chose to be here.
Yeah, so that whole thing in Croatia, it was a bit weird, but Croatia's beautiful. But the people, oh my god, there's some hard fucking people walking around. I suppose because they just fought a war, but don't fuck with them.
Yeah, even there's some Croatians in Melbourne I wouldn't fuck with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Just
Well,
generally, Croatians, all of them. Blanket term
Well,
for every
I
Croatian.
think if you've grown up in a war, then you have to fucking be
Yeah.
able to deal with yourself. That's like this dude that I went to TAFE with. He was Irish. He was from fucking Belfast, and he grew up when they were having the war in Belfast.
Right.
And he was telling me some stories about how he lived in a gated community. So as soon as you walked inside that community, no one could touch you, right? But as soon as you walk out of it, it's on. Like cunts are like beating people with like carrying bricks around and shit. Like it's brutal.
Yeah.
Like he got his ass handed to him like so many times and he's just like chill about it, and I'm like, man, you've seen some shit. And I didn't even want to think about it. Like it's just brutal. But
Fucked. So I was with my mate Adam, and he speaks Croatian, but he's learnt from his parents. His parents are from like a rural area of Croatia, like back in the day, and they left after the war or during the war or whatever. Like he's grown up in Australia. He was born here, kind of thing. But he went back, and because he got taught by his parents, came from a rural thing. He has like a rural accent when he speaks, which is like very uncool for his generation in Croatia,
Right.
because like you want to be like a city person, you don't want to be a rural person.
Okay.
But for all of the old people,
They love him.
They fucking love him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we got so much free shit.
Yeah, yeah,
So
sick.
much just like extra mile stuff just because he had that old
It's all about-
country
yeah.
accent. It was like the weirdest thing. And plus,
perception, it's real weird.
whenever Croatians speak to each other, like you have no idea if they're best friends or they're like about to stab each other. Like they've got one of those languages that's just
it's
like
an
really aggressive
it's
sounding
sharp.
to us. Like in English, it sounds aggressive.
even Russians like that. You can hear people talk sternly in Russian, and you're like, this is gonna be fucking on here.
I fucking love you!
That's what it sounds like. So Adam will be like yelling at someone across the street, and I was like, "Yeah, that guy knows where we're going. He told us some directions." I was like, I was like,
I was getting ready.
yeah.
I was amping myself up, man.
But yeah, that's
So best. I want to know about the fucking. You've gone a lot into history and how economics has panned out and some stuff that's cool. I want to know what.
Stop talking about history.
Like, tell me about when you fucking buckled yourself and threw up all over someone at 3 a.m.
Oh, okay. So in Glasgow, I dropped 200 pounds in a night, which is about
Like you dropped it?
no, like spent it.
Ah.
So I dropped
The
it.
cool.
Oh, sorry. It's
Cool
what the kids
way
are
of
saying.
saying
Which is about 400 Australian, and their drinks aren't as nearly as expensive here.
Are they stronger?
They're just whatever you want. You can be like,
Beer or
I
whatever.
want this much gin in that, or I want this much
Right.
whiskey in that, and they'll just do it. They don't, So, like, we were walking around. We fucking went to a few bars, went to dinner and stuff. I drank an entire bottle of red wine to myself at dinner because Maddie didn't.
Good option.
She was like, I'll get some wine with you, and then just didn't drink any. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I bought it, so I'm gonna fucking finish it. Yeah. Which, if
Oh, that's good.
If you know, like, that's always a fucking terrible way to start your night.
I always end the night with red wine, and I can never remember the next day. So
Really?
I can never remember what happened that night the next day.
Just the
Because I always like start off with beer, and then there's usually a point in the night where you're like, I'm fucking sick of beer. Usually, like not always, but sometimes, and then I'm
Yeah.
just like, let's get
Go
the
to
red
the
wine
wine.
out, like, and then I'm just
It
like,
does
can't
escalate
remember.
it.
It just fucking ruins you from then on. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. So
Yeah, whole bottle.
whole bottle. Went to a couple of bars, kind of looking for like around stuff. Glasgow's got a really fucking good bar scene at the moment. Like they've just got, because they've got kind of lax alcohol laws, plus they've got a huge influx of students. So all of these like really niche bars are popping up. So like any bar you can imagine, there is one of them, like somewhere. So we were just like bar hopping, and then we got pretty drunk. Saw this group of like our age people walking out the street in like a big group, and they were like loud and clearly drunk and having a good time. And me and Maddie were drunk, and Maddie's like, I'm gonna run up and find out where they're going, because like they're clearly going somewhere. She runs up, she goes, hey, where are you guys going? It looks like you're having fun. And some guy goes, we're on a bar crawl right now with like one of our uni groups. Like that's the guy that you talk to. And Maddie walked up to the guy, and she's like, we're from Australia, we don't know what's good. You run a bar crawl, what's good? And he's like, just come on the bar crawl. And they're like, okay, how much? He's like, no, don't worry about that. Just fucking come on the bar crawl. Apparently, he lived in Melbourne for like 2 years, like a while ago.
Classic.
So he like was like chill with us. He was like, yeah, I know what you guys are about.
Yeah.
Took us all these places, gone to free to like all these fucking places.
Yeah.
But I felt bad because this guy like this was his job. Like he takes the cash from
Yeah.
bar crawl to fucking pay his rent and shit. So I was like,
Yeah, but he'd already gotten his.
but I was like, I'll buy you a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
To be like, say thank you. So bought some gin, bought some beers, and then some things happened. I'm not entirely sure what fucking happened.
Did you put cocaine up your nose?
No, I didn't. We didn't get any drugs in Glasgow. I think.
I left my drink unattended for quite a while.
Just
I
walking around.
roofied myself.
Kept looking at like all the dodgy dudes and just leaving it on their table and
Just
eyeballing them and being
just
like,
leaving
I'm
it.
leaving this unattended. So kind of blacked out. I remember that I got the bar crawl guy so drunk that he was supposed to go to like the next couple
And
of
he couldn't.
bars, and he just like passed out in this bar next to me.
Classic move.
And I was like, oh,
Good
so
for
everyone
him.
was really bad at me for that because I'd just been like feeding this
Ruining
guy
this
gin. And there was, okay. So there's a DJ and there's like a band, but it's not band, it's just a dude with some bongos and like some other percussion stuff.
Please tell me you got up with him.
And I noticed that the DJ was like playing some stuff and you could hear the bongos because they had like mics on each bongo like pointing at the skin.
Yes.
And then the DJ just got sick of it and just unplugged the mics to the bongos. And it just like killed it. You couldn't hear it anymore.
Good option.
And the guy's just still
Good
going.
move by the DJ.
guy's just still
Yeah,
going.
he's just completely unaware. God, this sounds great.
Yeah, he was having a great time.
Oh, they love us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These bongos are adding so much to the vibe.
We're gonna need to build an encore for this.
Turn them up. Hey, can you turn them up? Oh, yeah, sick.
Yeah, turn them up. Oh no, that's good. That's good.
So I was loving watching this dude just go to town on these bongos for no reason. It was like my new favorite fucking entertainment. Like Maddie's dancing, like there's all these.
He doesn't realise they're unplugged.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sitting at this
See,
table.
now, is there a debate to be had that that's probably one of the purest forms of enjoyment? Because he's jamming out and everyone's having a good time. It doesn't matter that the other person...
No one's really affected by it. Yeah,
correct. He's jamming out.
And potentially Davey was the only one that noticed. Apart from the DJ.
Maybe
You're like,
some of the
DJ, you're like...
I saw him just go clunk, and it made that like crack noise when you like don't do it right. Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh," and I noticed what he'd done, and I was
so
like,
funny.
"This is fucking great." So I sat on a table like a fucking insane person. No one at a full table, like a 6-person table, laughing my ass off to myself, staring at a man playing bongos for like an hour and a half. Maddie was like, "You're worrying people. You need to stop staring at this man and laughing."
Just laughing. Oh yeah, it's not coming.
And so then like he kind of half realized after the end and like towards like, you know, a couple of like I think like an hour in.
Yeah.
And went off to the side and started like talking to the DJ, and I'm like, now's my time.
Yeah, good.
So I went up and I tried to play the bongos, and then I wasn't allowed to be in that bar anymore.
No.
I wasn't allowed in that club anymore. And I was like, that's fair enough. And he's like, what the fuck? Why are we going out? And I was like, look, I just
Some things happen.
they were out of my control.
saw a man. He was hilarious.
Haven't you heard of gravity?
I saw an opportunity, I took it.
So we went out and
I saw an open hole in the defense. I went for it.
But you know when like you're in a club and you're like everything's pretty great, and then you go out to like society, and it's 2 a.m. and you just realize how drunk you are.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because the
holy
fresh air
shit.
hits you.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking walk straight. I was like out of it. I don't remember the next bar that we went to. Weren't allowed in there.
Yeah.
Then we went. Maddie's like, let's go to the strippers because Maddie's like fucking hammered as well. And I'm like,
I hate the strippers.
all right,
Yeah, same.
let's go to the strippers. So she finds strippers on her phone. She takes me to this bar, and I have this vivid memory of the guy being like, have you guys been here before? And Maddie being like, no, we haven't been to this random ass strip club in Glasgow before.
Yeah.
Like, we're not from here, clearly.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, here's the rules. And he gets like mad aggressive.
Yeah.
Being like, no touching them, no soliciting, no photos. Like, and I was like, is that necessary, dude? Like,
What's different about this?
well, yeah,
strip
like,
than every other one?
we understand how strippers work.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Because you look like you're going to do something stupid.
Yeah. Looking back, I'm wearing a camo outfit. I'm shit faced. I have a fucking terrorist beard, and like I'm next to Maddie that potentially I've kidnapped. Like, and like then I was like, is that fucking necessary? And he gets up in my face. And he's like, it's gonna be a fucking no. Like, get out of here. And I was like, it's probably a good move. Like, I was definitely gonna take photos, solicit, and touch them. Dude fucking read my fucking mind.
Get out of my head, sir.
But yeah,
I got a question, like, because what I notice, especially in America, is how unique they make every single bar, which is awesome, right? This is a really good thing about American bars. Every place has a different look, different feel. Every time you walk in, even if it's the same like area, you won't walk into a place that feels the same. There'll be similarities, but generally feel different. Melbourne, there's fucking pubs, clubs, and speakeasies and shit, and but every one of those, it's like exactly the same. You can't tell Bridie O'Reilly's different apart from fucking whatever, Flanagan's or whatever. They're exactly the same. These are both old references. I don't think they're around anymore. But
it's funny that it's funny she mentioned that. In my head, I was picturing the insides of
pugs.
them.
Pugs, smell like pugs in Carlton. Yeah. But they're the same. Like Melbourne, they're probably getting better. There definitely is in the city especially, and like Thornbury and Northcote, there's different things that are coming out that like, oh, this place feels unique. It doesn't feel like any. Is it like that in like the UK, or is it kind of like
in London? Not so much. In London, all the pubs are kind of the same, and they're kind of weird that like no kids, like no one our age, goes to bars. Sorry, goes to pubs. The pub is like an old man thing. But I fucking loved them. I walked in and I was like, man, this is great. Like big fucking thing of taps.
Yeah.
Huge long like
Pool tables.
nice pool table, huge long thing of bars, tons of drunk old people that I can fucking yabber at for a little while.
Yeah.
But that's because your transition to like senile old man is going to be seamless.
Dude, I'm fucking
he's halfway
looking,
there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
He's growing old early.
Yeah.
I want to
As
get
they
to the
say.
point where I can shit my pants and everyone's just like, oh well, that happens sometimes.
I have thought about that. Not about you.
What about I have wondered.
I have thought about you shitting yourself.
Oh, Joe, I just want to be able to like sit down at a family dinner and
And
just say
shit my
some,
pants.
say some retarded crap, and everyone's just like, well, that's just how
That's
it
Davey.
happens.
That's
what
Davey. Hey,
happens.
that's Davey classic.
Yeah.
Lucky you didn't do it after dessert, am I right?
Oh boy. Wait till you see what he's got coming up.
Yeah.
He just chimes in every 10 to 15 minutes with something super racist that uncle shouldn't say.
Just say something about a war that I wasn't in.
He's the guy that wears the camo jacket.
Yeah.
He's not even Bosnian. He might look it.
He's not from there.
This goddamn Croats. You weren't in that war.
We're cutting that.
But
Oh god.
yeah, so I fucking loved it, but no one young goes to them. So when we're in there, like me and Maddie were like, we're home, like sit here, drink some pints. Spoke to an electrician for like
He spoke to an
4
electrician. Hold on.
what are you doing, Bars?
Did you just say you spoke to an electrician?
Yeah, because he was in the bar.
Out of every story.
Did he have his tradie gear
Out
on?
of,
Yes.
I think
Oh my
out of
God.
every story or anything I've asked from anyone in my lifetime about how is it overseas, what happened.
It was great. I spoke to an
with a
electrician.
Sparky. I don't think I've ever heard that sentence in reply.
People
loved
talk
it.
about beaches, you know, like.
Great. Spoke to a
I
Sparky.
spoke to an electrician.
Do you know they have electricity?
How was Europe? Spoke to an electrician.
Yeah.
Fucking cool, man.
We got him on Facebook. We exchanged details.
Oh god.
He tried to sell me weed. I was like, yeah, I'm only here for like 2 days, but all right, thanks, Mr.
Oh,
Electrician.
man.
You would have
So
said
funny.
yes in a second. Get me as
Yeah.
much as I can get my little
Yeah,
hands
but I had
on.
to go to some place that like he was like, go to this area, and I was like, nah.
Did you go to Denmark?
Yeah.
Did you go to Christiania? The little bike center in the middle of it?
No.
Where weeds fucking, or they sell like,
I went to
they sell fucking,
oh fuck that like
Was it-
okay. I went to this magical land, Tivoli Gardens. Have you
Yeah,
heard
I've
of
heard of
Tivoli
it. Yeah, I've
Gardens?
heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, where's
I
that?
hadn't heard of it. I had no
Yeah,
fucking idea what this.
where's that?
That's in Denmark,
Right. Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
I think.
Go on.
It's a wonderful dream place that everything is possible and dreams come true. It's an amazing fucking place.
Willy
dreams?
Wonka's
What
chocolate
dreams?
land.
It's like a theme park for people that don't know. It's a straight up like Disneyland theme park, but like 19...
Disneyland themed?
No,
park?
like
Or-
it's like rides and theme park
Oh,
stuff.
Disneyland
So
theme
it's,
park.
It's a theme park.
But it's
theme
like 19.
nothing to do with Disneyland.
Its themes are based on it.
It's like
Fuck you both.
Mocky Mouse, Mocky Rat,
They weren't even that
And
good.
this is Doofy.
and Donald fucking. I don't know.
Oh, you beefed it. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's your day
You
off.
know where I was going.
Yeah, I know where you were
It's day off.
going.
It's
I
my
know
day
where you were going.
So went there. It's like a theme park,
Duffy.
but it's like 1920s
I'm
themed,
gonna
where
call you
like
David Duck.
Duffy.
all the rides are like kind of industrial turn of the century styled, and
Hold on.
Why?
Hold on. The
I don't
rides.
fucking know all the rides and stuff. Yeah,
Like the roller coasters.
Yeah.
Are industrial turn of the century style.
yeah.
It's a real go-to place
And some
in
of them
Denmark.
are
Like,
some
when
of
you
them are
say
just
that-
that old.
hold on,
Some of them-
Kids,
That's
kids
what I
in
mean.
Denmark.
Are these turn of the century styled, or are they roller coasters from the turn of the
Some
century?
of them are. Some of them are straight up just that old.
Kids just love the turn of the century style architecture.
No,
The one
It's
thing
not
I
for
hear from
kids.
16-year-olds
in Denmark.
in too much is, hey, forget technology.
Tivoli Garden-
Forget Disney.
Can we go back to the printing press?
The Tivoli Garden is not for kids. They serve alcohol like everywhere. Like they have live music there. When I was there,
I don't know. The reason why I'm laughing so hard is because I can't actually tell if
I know.
it was a theme
I know.
park
I
or if you just rocked up somewhere and thought it was a
Yeah,
theme park.
like what part
Look
of
at
the-
these rides. And everyone's like, what are you talking about?
that's a gold digger. Get in the bucket.
I'm getting on.
Oh my god.
Oh my
It's
word.
a thing. I hadn't heard of it.
my
When
word.
I was there, Pitbull was gonna play that night. It was amazing.
There's a lot of
I'm dying.
there's like a lot of
I saw a drunk Asian lady get tackled.
there's
It was great. I fucking loved it.
I'm gonna die. Oh my god.
Tilly Gardens
What are you
is a
talking about?
wonderful place where
What
dreams
are
are
you
true.
You know what it's like?
Were you-
It's like it's the complete opposite.
dreamt it.
The Carl Pilkington like an idiot abroad.
Oh my god.
Take the exact opposite of that show, and that's kind of what we just
It
heard.
was dude, you gotta go if you
my
can do if you
God,
can do it one
man.
day, go to the Tivoli Gardens.
I cannot breathe.
They've got an aquarium, they've got a fucking huge sound stage,
Oh my
they've
God.
they've got
Mr.
like
Worldwide, Pitbull
they've
will
got
be
like
there.
carnival stalls, you know, where it's like throw the ball in the bucket and shit like that. They've got one where it's archery, and they've got like shooting ranges and stuff. They've got one where it's archery, like they just hand you a bow with a bunch of arrows, and like you could just fucking walk off with that shit. Like there's no enclosure,
You could walk on
and the dude who's like running it is standing at the end of the fucking like where you shoot. And I was so fucking stressed I was gonna shoot this guy.
This just sounds so strange.
Yeah.
And it was right next to the place where you could get one of those steins of beer. It was like stein of beer, completely open-aired archery.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Sharp bow and arrow.
Yeah, I was like, this is amazing. It
Great
wasn't like
combination.
rubber-tipped arrows. It was like straight-up arrows. And I was like, what an amazing
Insanity.
place. This is a fucking dream.
I
come true.
still think you actually dreamt it.
Yeah.
I cannot confirm
Even
that that's
while
a real thing.
on that, we're gonna need to wrap this up. Dave, can you, as we're all, I'm sure, still trying to process
Tivoli Gardens.
Tivoli
It's fucking
Gardens.
great.
Oh my god.
Oh, let's wrap this up. How can we get what are the best and worst experiences that happened on that trip, specifically in your last 6 weeks in Europe, and then
Alright, best...
whatever else seems to pop into your head.
Right up there was snorkeling between the tectonic plates, like in Iceland. It's like
sounds-
where two
yeah,
tectonic
sounds
plates.
pretty
Dude,
cool.
the
that's
fucking
super
water
famous. Yeah.
in
Is it
those
cold?
photos look
It's-
unbelievable.
Yeah, you have to wear a dry suit. So like.
Oh, this was the one that you wanted to pee in.
Yeah. I was like, the lady was like, don't pee in the dry suit because guess what? It's a fucking dry suit.
Yeah, so it's just you and pee.
It's just you pee in your pants. And I was like,
But
I still kind of want to do that though.
Yeah, I want to see what that feels like.
So,
and-
but shitting's okay.
So that was fucking dope. That was fucking cool. That was probably a highlight.
Snorkeling, so like on the surface, and then you.
You can dive down and stuff.
Yeah.
You
Come
can
back
do.
I
you
did
can-
that in Greece. It was so sick. I mean, it probably has no comparison to Iceland. But anyway.
It was amazing. It was like highly recommend. It's very touristy.
I think we could probably go down. The Northcote Pools has got a similar sort of
Yeah,
line.
yeah. You can find some shit down there.
Yeah.
And the worst, probably. Ooh,
Worst country. What was the worst country?
we didn't really like.
What did your
Germany.
brother do?
Yeah, I didn't
What
like
did your brother
Germany
do?
either.
The last week was Jack was over there.
Yeah.
Jack turns 30 last week. This week, I'll be at your
It wasn't
birthday.
last week. I'm in fucking trouble.
Jack, it's his
I don't
birthday Saturday night. I'll be there. You won't see this before then, but give us
Yeah.
some dirt. What happened with Jack over there? What did he do? Anything fun?
Oh,
Anything stupid?
in Reykjavik, we went on a bar crawl, which was pretty fun. But then it was like 3 at night. They don't close their bars because it doesn't get dark until like 1 in the morning. And then it gets light at 3 in the morning.
That's
So like
dope.
it's dark for like a tiny little bit.
It's Iceland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Then it's flipped in
then
winter.
It's flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Which-
there's like 6 months of them just staying indoors.
and everyone that I spoke
forever.
to, I was like, "So what's the winter like?"
That's why they
They're like,
make such fucking
shit.
weird music.
And I
yeah.
didn't like find a
sick, though.
single
I love it.
Icelandic person that was like, "Oh, it's not that bad." All of them were like, "It's the fucking worst."
Dude, it's 6 months of black.
Yeah, but like I
Give you
thought,
2 days without the sun. I can tell you that's bad.
I
Yeah.
thought that you'd like kind of get used to it, but you don't. You just get sad.
What out of nature's evolution would make you think that?
I don't fucking know. Mushrooms, they grow in the dark. But my brother, we went on the bar crawl. He's like, one more beer, like let's go to another pub. I was like, just fucking 3 in the morning. Like I'm going fucking home. I'm trashed. So me and Maddie start walking home. Then he gets home like I don't know 2 hours later, and he was like, the strippers robbed me. And
Oh yes.
he fucking will not admit that he went to a strip club and just spent that amount of money. I think he spent like $500. And we're like, he's like, only had one round of drinks. I'm like, you don't spend. It was on card as well. So like, there's security behind card to like spend more.
That
than
place
now.
is expensive though, like Iceland.
Yeah, oh, Reykjavik's fucked.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
It's like $60 for a sandwich or some shit.
Yeah, but he came back being like, the strippers robbed me. And we were like, are you sure the strippers just didn't get paid what you owed them? But he was adamant that he's gotten robbed. And that's like right up there with like every time someone gets drunk, they're like, I must have been robbed last night. Or like some like girl or guy's like, I must have been drugged last night. It's like, yeah, you were by you doing shots yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Alcohol's a drug. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so that was him, and then
In summary, let's summarize.
Yeah, let's wrap.
Give us a summary of your Europe trip as a whole.
fucking good. It was like, exactly what I was expecting it to be, which was just going to different fucking places and going on adventures and getting drunk
and making up dream worlds that probably don't actually
Look,
exist.
if you like one day when I'm a multi-billionaire, I'll take you to the Tivoli Gardens.
Thank you.
And we'll all go and I'll just let you run wild and you'll be like, imagine that I was on acid and I thought of a place that is everything that I want it to be. That's what the Tivoli Gardens is.
Yeah.
It's just alcohol,
architecture,
rides, small children,
industrial
more rides.
industrial design,
Army jackets.
army jackets.
Oh, they were not a big fan of me in France. They're very scared of terrorists there. They have lots of terrorist stuff. So
That
like,
makes sense.
We're in Paris and there's just like military trucks everywhere now. It's getting crazy.
Yeah. They're not everywhere.
Well,
but go on.
before we go further and you cause
It's good
some
to have you
sort
back.
of international debate.
Yeah.
Good to have you back, Davey.
Yep, Davey's back, everyone.
Thanks, boys.
This was
Thank you for invading my house.
Yeah, this was our Lounge Room podcast brought to you in part by Stu's Lounge
The
Room.
first and only version of this podcast.
Oh, that's great.
Until you have another day off, and then there'll be another version of this.
I won't be here.
All right. Nice. Well, that's about it.
Cool.
Everyone, we will catch you next podcast.